What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Song. Today I'm going to talk to you about my brand new single Separate Ways, which is out on January 20th. This song was the second one that I wrote for the Severance EP after Save You, which had been written many years beforehand and eventually found a home for itself on Severance. So you could say in a way this was the first song that I actually wrote with the intention of it being on this new EP. And I actually took it to Jordan, aka Skynum GT, who produced Transcendence originally, and I had brought a few references that were sort of like tech house and kind of very low-key minimal EDM, and it's quite a modern palette of influences that I brought. And then after Save You was released, and we didn't have a huge game plan at this time for an EP, but we were just kind of recording, and I was writing. And after Save You was released, I felt that I was on a new path from what I had been on Transcendence, and I do like to be consistent for an era. And so I decided to take the track to Gareth Shortland, who produced Save You, and to embrace a more nostalgic sound, bringing in a lot of trance influences, which you'll hear really obviously on this one. There's a lot of like chicane and sash, and my favourite on the verses is that sort of Maloko vibe. It's very dark and edgy, and there's like the backing vocals, the a little more backing vocals, and it's kind of quite echoey. And for me, I see songs as being like seasons, and this one feels absolutely like winter to me, hence it being released in January. Originally I was going to release this as the third single, so after Been and Gone, when the last time was released back in May last year, or May this year, and I didn't feel like it was right. It just felt like for summer, it just, even though it's a kind of banger dance track, it just didn't feel right, and I always feel like in that way that songs where they belong in the year. And it also feels quite conclusive lyrically, and you know, in terms of the EP, this is obviously kind of a breakup record, and Save You is the hopeful opener, and Separate Ways, even though it comes second on the EP right after Save You, it is definitely the conclusive. It's the end of the relationship. It's almost emotionally detached in some ways, and already moved on. And I took a different approach vocally with this one, I think, as well. Just from lead of the music, I think I tapped into a different part of my voice that I maybe hadn't utilised since some of the album tracks on Distance that were more urban led. And I recorded the vocals with Richey McCourt. It was my second time recording with Richey, and I really enjoyed. We did it in like an hour and a half. And I just really enjoyed the process. And I hope you love the track. I hope you've had a great time along this ride with me for Severance. And if you haven't heard the record in full, now's your call to do that.